How's it going, YouTube? Chance here. Today I'm here with my friend Jorge, and we're going to be asking each other and you guys some random questions. Feel free to leave the answers to whatever we ask in the comment below if you want to. Leave a like if you're feeling generous. So, with that being said, we're off. Alright, Jorge's going to start us off with the first question.
The first one is pros and cons of dogs and cats. I mean, like, I'm more of a dog person because you can, like, play with the dog. Like, you know, when you have a dog, you can play with it. But if it's a cat, like, you can kind of play with it, but my cat doesn't like me because when I try to play with it, it's like, quit petting me so hard, or, you know what I'm saying, I can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't do the same stuff you would do
with the dog.
With the dog.
Like, roughhouse the dog around.
But a dog can be, like, hella dirty. Like, a cat would go in the litter box in a certain area, which a dog, it wouldn't matter. He'd do it on your favorite shirt. So, I mean, like, I don't know. There's a lot of pros and cons. I now have a cat, which is weird, and don't have a dog, but only because my girlfriend wants me to have it. It was kind of like given to me by my mom, so I have to like take care of this cat. And I was getting ready to get rid of it. My girlfriend was like, "Don't you do that?" And I was like, whatever. So I got a cat right now, but I'm gonna get a dog.
I think I'm more of a dog person myself too, even though I have a cat as well. Because dogs are just more friendly in general. Yeah. Cats are really reclusive and sit there and do their own little thing in the corner. While a dog, on the other hand, whistle and a snap, it just comes around to you. Regardless.
Yeah, I know. They'll just sit there and just look at you stupid. Like a cat, like getting a cat's attention, unless you have food and you just do some like weird little nature call towards it. Like other than that, it's not messing with you. Yeah, at all. And they just get in the most weirdest spots. Like you'll see a cat, and the cat will get like up in a cabinet in the most like come out of the most weirdest holes.
Yeah. You guys can't see it, but I have this little workout machine over here, and he gets up on the armrest of it every single day. One of my questions is, how do you guys feel about how some of the kids are raised in today's generation? That's a little controversial, whatever, controversial.
That's not a word, it's a word now.
There's a lot of controversy over this topic. How about that?
If it's not a word now, it's a word.
Alright, so I personally think there's kids that are spoiled today, and then there's kids that have nothing. There's really a fine line in between where there's kids that are raised properly and how they should be. But other than that, I don't see many people, at least where I'm from, that are super rich or like just better off, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like too, like, it's kind of hard to say, like, you can't, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's allowed now that wasn't allowed then, and there's a lot of stuff that's changed, obviously, but for one thing that I can see is a lot of us, other than him saying, like, you either have something or you have nothing, or, like, you're kind of in between, but for the most part of us living on a, like,
paycheck
to paycheck to where you would still have these stuff. I feel like kids are still given more privileges, and they're like back in the day they didn't have Facebook, they didn't have this. Everybody, you wake up and you get on your phone and you see this. At a young mind, these kids like now, before you could have been like 35 whenever iPhones came out. When they first came out, you was so like shocked at how to use this. But tell me how that a 9-month-old or to like once a kid is so young to develop in like a year old and knowing how to get on these games and these apps, but it took us so long to like get to it. So I feel like there's a mind of an adaptation, and there was a lot of stuff that they didn't have that we have now, and it changes stuff and it makes it different.
Yeah, I feel like at the way that the generation is going, as we are now, that in the future, kids are going to be out of this world just ridiculously spoiled.
And it has a lot to do with the social medias, is like what I'm getting back to, is because these kids want to act wild and do infamous stuff so they can be, you know what I'm saying, viewed. So they will start doing like the most crazy stuff in music. So all the stuff that influences them is what they see on these medias, what they try to reenact. And they do that, and it's only making us so smart. So we're not always ever thinking above, because the content and the idols and everybody who they want to be like is being showed infamous stuff that is deceiving them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, that makes sense too. It's just like kids get to a certain point where they want one-on-one and don't know how to give back. Like, of course they're kids and they're not like obviously out contributing to society. But they expect everything handed to them on a silver platter for no reason, just because that's how they were raised, and they need to realize that that's not how life is.
And where you're from, it just depends where you're from and like how you have it, because there's two different lives. Like you could be a kid that has all this money, and you never really noticed how much harder it is to do these little things extra, to where you were just like you do have a reality, and some people have it better. Sometimes they can have money for the better, and sometimes for the worse. Because when they don't have their parents and they don't have these things, they have a rude awakening to life, and they just see how it really is, and it's not just all pancakes and waffles. Would you rather be blind or have no arms? What do you feel about that? I mean, honestly, I feel like I love seeing stuff. I would love to see my girlfriend's arms. I would love to see my girlfriend's arms, her face, everything. I don't know why I said her arms. I was thinking about my arms. But I would like to see her arms, you know?
That's awesome.
No, but for real. Yeah, them damn arms.
Them damn arms.
No, but I would rather see my girlfriend. But then again,
armless?
but then I wouldn't have no arms, you know, just like hug her, kiss her, do this extra stuff I'd want to do, or just in general, like you couldn't make pancakes. How you can make pancakes with no arms? I mean, I guess you can like make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with your feet and stuff, and my toes are like webbed together, so I really can't like even put a fork through one of my toes. But I mean, I feel like I would rather.
So there should be three options.
Be blind.
There should be three options. But yeah, would you rather be blind, armless, or web-footed? Alright. No, but in all seriousness, I feel like I'd rather be blind.
Or you'd rather be blind?
I think I'd rather be blind, because with your hands you can feel so much. There's an entire language, there's Braille. That opens up an entire universe. I feel like if you get to the point where you're like spiritually active and stuff like that, everything of that nature and like the psyche and all that would just come naturally, because you would already have a different perspective on life. You know, you'd be in the dark about everything, but like,
yeah,
there's still ways for
your
you
other
to figure
senses.
out.
I feel like your other senses would be so much more enhanced.
Exactly.
Yeah, like every other sense would have to be that much more enhanced and paid more attention to, more focused and more vividly.
For sure.
I can see it, but I really still rather see beautiful women and the sun and beautiful women.
Two different mindsets, people. One of my questions is, how do you feel about our government?
Ooh. I mean, you can go first.
I'll go ahead and say that our government's shadiest. We have no clue what's going on behind closed curtains. We have no idea what's going on, like, globally on this huge scale, because we're just left in the dark. There could be so much shit that we don't even know.
Yeah, we're just lied to. We're just told to. Like, we sometimes are just told stuff, and you are led to believe it because, you know, that's what it is.
Basically.
Because I could tell you something right now, and it's whether you want to believe me or not, and it's what they tell us. So, I mean, it's crazy.
It's word of mouth, man. Like, whatever you say can be spread around, and that can be, like, considered the truth, but that doesn't mean it is.
Yeah, and
it just depends on what people say, how people phrase it, who people get their sources from.
Yeah, and like whenever I would be like I would go into the cafeteria whenever I'm getting off or getting onto my break on work, and I'd watch CNN. And the time of watching it, it's almost like I'm watching like a more grown but still government type of Jersey Shore. Like it's literally an act. It's a TV show.
Staged,
like it's staged. Like you watch it, and they're always they're always about a bunch of other stuff that we don't need to talk about, or something that doesn't even come into play. They just want to start.
They're really good at changing the subject.
Yeah. Like changing the subject, always staying on to the next, getting us confused and having us with so much different stuff to where we can't keep our minds in one spot and realize what the bigger picture or what's really going on.
Well, that wraps up that video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like or subscribe. And don't forget to comment those answers. I want to see what you guys have to say about that. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.